say my name is David Johnson. Can you hear me at back? Thank you very much. I am merely the MC this evening. I'm not sure I deserve that applause, but I do thank you for it. We are going to get underway in a rousing fashion tonight with the lion dancers. The lion dancers from the Chinese Kung Fu Institute of Canada, and here they are. Didn't they do a great job? It seems a bit awkward, but I think if I hold my hand like this, then perhaps you can hear me. Ladies and gentlemen, good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for a very happy occasion indeed. And this is our first chance to meet our nominated candidate for the riding of Scarborough Agincourt, our longtime friend, our longtime fellow Conservative, Dr. Benson Lau. And you will have an opportunity later this evening to hear Benson speak, to ask questions, and then later in the evening, after the formal part has finished, Benson will stay and be more than happy to meet and speak to you one-on-one. However, we do have a number of people who would like to say a few words about our candidate, our excellent candidate here in Scarborough Agincourt. And first of all, I'm going to ask Dr. Colin Carey, who is the Member of Parliament for Oshawa and the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Industry. If Dr. Carey would come forward and say a few words.
I think I'll try to hold the mic like this too. I just got off the plane. I came from the Juno Awards, and all the singers last night were holding the mic just like this. So, Dave, I think we're doing something really, really popular. I'm so excited to be here. And as my first official thing I'd like to do this evening is to bring you greetings from Ottawa and greetings from the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper. Thank you very much. And like I say, I am so excited to be here today for Dr. Benson Lau. He is such a great candidate. I don't know if you know very much about me, but I too was in the healthcare field for 15 years before I got into politics. And what is really exciting me about Benson is he's a gentleman, and he went into medicine for a reason. He went into medicine because he cares, and he cares about people. And we need candidates who care about people in the government of Canada. So Benson, congratulations, and thank you for serving the Our country is changing, and I need to tell you a little bit about Oshawa. Any of you here know a little bit about the history of Oshawa? Oshawa was where the leader of the NDP party held a seat for 21 years. His name was Ed Broadbent. Now, I got to tell you something. When I ran for the Conservative Party, everyone said there is no way that you are going to win. They said to me, there hasn't been a Conservative member elected in Oshawa for over 35 years. And you know what I said to them? So what? I said to them, I'm here because I believe in my country. I'm here because I care for my country. And I know Dr. Lau is here for the exact same reasons. And that's why we're so proud to have him a candidate right here in Scarborough Agincourt. Thank you, Doctor. Canadians are sick and tired of corrupt Liberal government. That's why we passed, as our first legislation, the Federal Accountability Act. And I got to tell you, we passed it through the House of Commons in record time, and the Liberal-controlled Senate almost took an entire year to get that through. Why? Because they don't want accountability. They don't want to be held to task. But we know that Canadians deserve more, and that's why we're delivering for Canadians. We have a leader in Stephen Harper. Stephen Harper is a man of his word. What he says is what he's going to do, and that's what we're going to continue to do for Canada. So, thank you very much, Dr. Lau. It's wonderful, a great pleasure for me to be here this evening. And let's get ready, let's get to work, because this election could come at any time. Thank you very much.
This evening, not only to have with us Dr. Carey, but several other candidates who have been nominated as well in their own particular ridings. And while the evening will be unfortunately too short for everybody to speak, I'd like to call on all of the nominated candidates to come up at this point with Dr. Lau. Perhaps we can have a quick photo. I understand that Duncan Fletcher is here from Markham Unionville. Is Duncan Fletcher? Peter Kent from Thornhill. Thanks, Peter. Jerry Vance from Scarborough Rouge. And Maureen Hartwell from Willowdale. And of course, Dr. Carey, we'd like you in this as well. And Benson. Now, did I miss anybody? If there are any other federally nominated members, would they please come forward at this point? If not, Benson, you're in the middle. Okay, photos? And I know that it is a joy to be a candidate, but it is also a challenge. It is time-consuming. There's a lot of effort.
I've known Benson for quite a while. He's been involved in my campaigns as he's been involved in Dave's campaigns in terms of knocking on doors, raising money, and all of those things that need to be done for running an election. And I know that I know Benson very well from sitting on the Police Services Board with him during the controversy of Fantino, when it was Benson and I who were the law and order guys, right, Benson? So So Benson is more than qualified to run as a Conservative, given his track record in the community as a volunteer, as a member of the Police Service Board, and so many things that he's been involved in. And I'm just delighted to be here tonight, and I'm delighted to see so many people. And how many of you are going to come out knocking on doors for Benson? Come on! That's what we need for Benson. On to victory.
Right, on to victory. A member of the Metro Toronto Separate School Board, Trustee John Del Grande is with us tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I represent the Toronto Capital District School Board for Ward 7, which includes Scarborough Agincourt. And be very brief, with Benson's candidacy, Scarborough Agincourt is not only going to realize it deserves better, it's going to get better. So make sure you come out and support Benson. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Really delighted tonight that we're joined by a former member of Parliament for Scarborough and a former cabinet minister. For Pauline, that's right. And Pauline Browse, would you come forward at this point? Just say a couple of words.
Well, thank you very much, Dave, and to everyone. This is a marvelous event, and as we were just chatting about what's happened in Scarborough, there hasn't been this many people in Scarborough Agincourt since Tom Wells was the member. You've really made it happen. I've known Benson and his family for, I guess, about 30 years. And every election I keep saying, Benson, I think that you should run. And so this is the one, and this is the one that's going to take him over the top. And each of us are going to be there to help Benson. We're delighted that you're the candidate. We're going to be delighted when you're the Member of Parliament for Agincourt to have some real representation in Agincourt. Thanks so much.
Pauline, how true that is. Some real representation for Scarborough Agincourt for a change. You know, I don't want to say anything bad about the current member representing Scarborough Agincourt, but I must say, looking in the media, I've had a hard time finding anything good to say about the member from Scarborough Agincourt. One of the recent articles that came to my attention was the fact that he's missed about 36 votes in the recent past, and apparently essentially holds the record for missing votes in the House of Commons. Another article had to do with his involvement with one of the candidates for the federal leadership, Joe Volpe. And apparently, I believe he was the campaign chair of Joe Volpe's run for the leadership. But apparently he didn't meet Joe Volpe's standards because Joe Volpe fired him. And I must say that Joe Volpe's standards aren't all that high. You know, here's Joe Volpe, of course, was the candidate who accepted $5,000 checks from 12-year-olds. So I would say that that's about the bottom rung on the ladder in terms of the member from Scarborough Agincourt's position. But however, we're here tonight to talk about our man, Dr. Lau, who by comparison is the thoroughbred in the race. And another individual who would like to say a few words is Mr. Chung, the president of Lung Kwang Fraternity Association. Mr. Chung.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have opportunity here tonight. I'm very proud. My name is John Chong, Vice President of Lung Kwang Association. Dr. Benson Lau has worked in our community for many years. He has served in Grand Community Center, Metropolitan Commissioner at Kennedy in city election. He has warm, friendly, and energetic. I think he will be an excellent member of Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, please support Dr. Benson Lau and take time to help. Thank you very much.
The nominated candidate for York West, is he here? Oh, there he is at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, right at the back. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We're delighted to have Mr. Longman here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say. When I see my student, such a wonderful person he is today, and what I've heard, what other speakers have said about him, all I ask of you, please vote for him. When you get to the poll, don't worry about the others, just put an X next to his name. And get him vote for Ottawa. This is the right fellow to do the job. Thank you very much.
This is the right fellow. Now, was he a good student? Well, we'll assume he was. Let's see, there are a few other people I should just introduce. We haven't got time to ask them all to come up, but Jim Bamford will be speaking later this evening, but he deserves double mention. Jim Bamford is the campaign manager. Jim, there he is right at the back. Benson's campaign manager, Jim Bamford. Because over the years, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen campaign managers. Jim Bamford is in the excellent category. So rest assured that Benson's fortunes are in good hands. And if Jim Bamford asks you to do something, asks you to work hard, you will know that he is doing even more and working even harder on this campaign. So please, let's all help Jim get Benson elected. Agent Court, Colin Goddard is here. Colin, where are you? There's Colin. And the financial agent for Scarborough Agent Court, Wally Allen, is here. Wally? The money man. Colin, you want to say a few words, but, yeah, okay.
Dan Plattner, President of Scarborough Agent Court Lighting. Sorry, Dan, we saw you come in. We missed you from the list.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for coming. And I'd like to thank you because I know that over the course of your association, and we're counting on you, of course, in the election, and this time we're going to win.
Darn right.
Okay.
Gentlemen, ladies, all guests, my name is UK. I first met Dr. Benson Lau back in 1989 when I was a new immigrant. Over the year, I have found Dr. Lau to be very honest and sincere with the righteous principle and always striving to reach ideal. I truly believe Dr. Lau is an outstanding candidate who can be trusted to serve as voter and fight for our rights. Please support and vote for Dr. Benson Lau.
The next person I have is Mr. Mark Iwanacheko, the Director of Cardiac Stress Lab of the Toronto Western Hospital. Mr. Mark, you want to chat, Cole? This is Benson's boss, apparently.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Benson. Congratulations. I was just thinking how long I've known you. It's 15 years now. Benson has worked with me. We were colleagues at the Toronto Western Hospital University Health Network, where I direct a very large program, the largest one in Toronto, where we do stress testing and take care of cardiac patients. And Benson is one of our supervisors. We've come to depend on him, his integrity, his honesty, his hard work. We can always depend on Benson being there when we need him. And when our patients are sick, and it's really important, we also depend on Benson helping us. So thank you very much, Benson. Congratulations.
You know, there may be a few of Benson's patients here tonight. Some people over here. Well, it's great to see you out. Now, moving to another hospital, to the president of the Toronto East General Hospital Foundation, Teresa Basilopoulos. Toronto East General Hospital Foundation.
Thank you. I actually brought Justin with me, and he's going to share my 2 minutes because I just wanted to be here. As the president of Toronto East General Hospital, the foundation is delighted to have Benson on our board of directors. Benson joined our foundation last June, and since that time he's been an active contributor to our foundation. He inspired our first Chinese community outreach gala. And this event had the theme to serve and protect, and it brought together the police services and the Chinese community to support Toronto East General Hospital. Close to 400 people attended this gala, and it was a tremendous success. I feel if Benson works half as hard on his constituents as he does for Toronto East General Hospital, this community will be well served. Benson, on behalf of all of us at the Foundation, we wish you well and thank you for your ongoing support, energy, and enthusiasm. And we know that you'll make a great member of Parliament for the people of Scarborough Agincourt. Our best wishes for a strong campaign. Now I'm just going to turn the microphone over to Justin Van Dent, who knows Benson very well.
Thank you, Teresa. I've had the opportunity to know Benson Lau for over 10 years, and he's been a great friend, and I wanted to be here tonight to congratulate him on his successful nomination to run for the Conservative Party of Canada in Scarborough Agincourt. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I was reminded on the way up here that Toronto Star did some report card back a few years ago, and they rated the current member of Parliament for this riding, and they gave him an F.
That's right.
They gave him a failing grade, and there's a reason for that. The people of Toronto are looking for leaders and members of Parliament who are prepared to take our issues to Ottawa and advocate for them on our behalf. And I'm fully convinced that Benson will do that as a member of Parliament, and I look forward to standing behind you on the upcoming campaign. Congratulations.
Am I correct, Vice President? Of the provincial party here in the province of Ontario, and has responsibility for organizing candidates in a good part of the city of Toronto. So if anybody else here tonight is interested in running provincially, then Justin, put your hand up again. Justin Van Dent is the man to see. Now, I've been remiss in not mentioning earlier that the Greater Toronto Area Organizer for the Federal Conservative Party is here with us tonight, and that is Karma McGregor. Karma, where are you? Karma, put your hand up. So if you have any questions about when the election is, Karma will tell you. The next person, well, I think we're running out of people. Well, let me just look at my notes. Did I miss anybody? Benson? Have I missed anybody? And to introduce the main event, I'm going to ask that hardworking campaign manager, a former member of the Metropolitan Toronto Police Squad, Jim Bamford, to come forward forward and to introduce Benson.
I'm a little relieved here to find out that when he rated me there, he said it was between excellent and awful, and I didn't know where I was going to come out, but I'm really pleased. I want you to know, first of all, that we have the momentum. You look at this room, we have more people in this room now than they've had in the last 3 times that we've gone into an election. It just goes to show you, and I'll tell you, we've just done a straw poll of 4 areas in Scarborough that are heavy Liberal. When we did them in the last election at this time, they came out 71% for Kerry Giannis and 18% for the Conservative candidate. We just did a straw poll right now, and we find that we're in the high 30s, and he's in the low 40s. The momentum's going, and we can win this, folks. We really can. The way we're going to win it is to have the personal touch, to get out there, to deal with the voters out there. They want our personal touch. We cannot do it unless you're willing to help us. We can win it. We have a winning team, but we need right now for as many people here to sign up. If you don't have any talents, we'll find something for you to do. But please, we need you to sign up tonight to at least let us know that you're interested in helping us. We will contact you and fit you in somewhere in this campaign. We also need you for a lawn sign. There should be nobody here that leaves and doesn't give us a lawn sign. Nobody. And the other thing is donations. We can't win unless we have funding. And please, we need you to help us with funding. Any amount will do. 1,000, 5,000. Oh, we can't do any more than 1,100, can you, Mike? I'll do it for your wife. Anyways, we need you to sign up. And there's lots of things you can do, but I'll tell you right now, we cannot win unless you're with us, unless you're willing to come out and you're willing to help us. And if you do, I'll tell you right now, we are going to slay the dragon. We're going to slay the top dog here. He thinks he can't be beaten, but I'll tell you right now, he can be, and we're going to prove it. Yeah. I have lived in the Scarborough area for 25 years. I've raised my family here, I've worked here, I played here, and I enjoyed all the wonderful things that there are in Scarborough. And I'm very proud to live in Scarborough. And I'm going to tell you, I love this area, and I particularly love Agincourt. And my only interest in being involved here is to make sure that we do the very best for our community, and we have the right man in place for the job. Very upset when I hear all the time about guns and gangs and violence. And I was a police officer for 37 years, and I was the unit commander here in Agincourt, in Scarborough, for the last 8 years of my career. And I know Scarborough. And I'm going to tell you, we have really been unfairly maligned by the media. And I get really upset when I don't hear from our leaders and when I don't hear from our politicians standing proud for Scarborough and saying this is a great place to live and work. They fail to do their job and do it properly. And I'm not referring to them all, but there are some. And in particular, the federal member of Parliament that represents this area of Agincourt, he could have done better. His party could have done better for us, but they didn't. They failed to get the job done. And I thank God right now that we don't have a Liberal government in power in Canada anymore. Now, Canada has a brand new Conservative government. And I'm going to tell you, they've accomplished more in 1 year than the Liberals did in 13 years. Our new government has run an honest government, a good government. We have a dynamic leader, and the polls are indicating that we are going to win, and hopefully a majority government. And Agincourt needs a voice in this new government. We need somebody who's going to be on the inside of government, not somebody who sits for 18 years on the back benches. We need somebody who is going to be respected within their party. Somebody who has a passion about safety in our community, about health care, about accountability, and about lower taxes. Someone who has the honesty, the integrity, and the respect of his peers. And somebody who will at least go to Ottawa. Our time has come now to elect a Conservative MP. I've known Benson for over 8 years. I knew him when I met him when he served on the Police Services Board, and he served there with honor and with distinction. And he had a commitment to public safety, public service, and he was prepared to make the stand on the important issues. He understands people, and he understands how decisions impact on people. You know what? He is genuine, he's sincere, and he's the real thing. There's nothing phony about Benson Lau. He is an excellent, excellent candidate, and we couldn't do better. You can read from his brochure about Benson himself, but I'll tell you, he's a family man. He's got a wonderful, wonderful wife, Grace. He's a proud father. He's a physician. He's a surgeon. He's somebody who practices in this area. And you know what? The one thing that I don't know an awful lot about him as a doctor. But I'll tell you one thing that sticks in my mind. When he's been over to my place at 11 o'clock at night and he's leaving, he's going to do a home visit to somebody. Now, how many doctors do you find that actually go and do a home visit? That shows you the compassion and care that he has for the people that he works with and for. He has the experience. He's a campaigner. He's been here before. He has the drive. He has the passion to win. He's developed a winning team. And he's been an immigrant himself. So he knows the community. He knows the issues. He knows your concerns. He knows your worries. And he knows your struggles. And as I say, he has developed this winning team. He's ready. He's willing. He's able. And he can and he will win, again, with your support, your assistance, and your help. Finally, Agincourt, it's our time to have a strong voice in Ottawa. Dr. Benson Lau is the right man at the right time in the right place in Agincourt. And it takes with great pride that I introduce our candidate and our next member federally in Agincourt, Dr. Benson Lau.
Because I'm among friends. I think the previous speakers have said it all. Dr. Kerry said, the reason I run, I care about this country. I care about Scarborough Agincourt. I want to make the difference. As Pauline said, Scarborough Agincourt need a real representation. And I will give you that representation if I go to Ottawa. Mr. Long, my primary school principal, who give me all the detentions. Just listen to him. Don't worry about any other candidates. Just put your check mark next to my name. Remember, it's Benson Lau. L-A-U. But Jim told me to stick with the script. He said, when you're nervous, you don't speak well. So I better do that.
You're on a roll.
Am I? Ladies and gentlemen, friends, as I said, I'm very happy to be here. I'm honored to be the Conservative candidate for the riding of Scarborough Agincourt in the next federal election. I want this community and this country to be stronger, safer, and better. I want to make the difference. I want to stand up for the Canadian values. When I came to Canada in September 1968, that's 40 years ago, a long time. I came as a kid, now I'm an old man. I came with nothing but hopes and dreams. I spoke not a word of English. Now I can speak English. I studied hard and worked after school in the Westwood. I put myself through university and onto medical school before commencing my career and starting a family. This is what Canada have given me. I'd like to speak a few words in Chinese because we have a lot of Chinese audience. As I said, I'm among friends. 各位來賓，各位朋友，我今日真係好高興，能代表 Scarborough Agincourt 保守黨成為呢個區嘅候選人，同你大家講幾句説話。其實好多感觸。你哋嘅來臨呢，係俾我競選過程嘅注射一支好有強而有力嘅強心針。有你嘅支持，勝算在握。1968年，我第一次踏足加拿大，我身無一文，除咗父母、兄弟姊妹，一句英文都唔識，一個朋友都冇。但我冇感到彷徨，我帶住一股好熱誠嘅衝勁，一股上進心。而加拿大就俾咗我一個好良好嘅教育基礎，梗係要勤力讀書啦，放工後都要做工。咁就咁樣，讀完中學、大學，完成咗醫科個課程。到今時今日，有一個溫暖嘅家庭，事業上有一點基礎。加拿大就俾咗一個可以改善我生活環境嘅改善我生活環境嘅機會。This is an opportunity to excel in Canada。我出嚟參選就希望可以報答呢個對我有恩嘅國家，我可以盡一點綿力，將這個能改善生活環境嘅機會呢，保存俾我哋嘅下一代。但我希望得到你嘅支持。I have been married to Grace for 30 years. I gratefully appreciate her company and support all these years. And we have a lovely daughter called Jacqueline. I'm very fortunate to be blessed with this opportunity, and I'm very respectful of the value and opportunities that this country offers to us all. Most of you share this fundamental value and cherish the opportunity that allow us to live, work, raise our family in this great community. As Jim just said, this is a wonderful, wonderful community, Scarborough Agincourt. A community in which I have served as a family physician for many years. I have been with our friends and neighbors in this community in good times and bad. Remember 1992 with the SARS crisis? I'm there. Ladies and gentlemen, I know and respect you and your commitment to this great land of opportunity. And I know you want a government that cares about you and has the compassion and ability to help those around us who are vulnerable and deserving assistance. Scarborough Agincourt, as I said, is a wonderful, wonderful community in which hardworking people expect their elected representative to act responsibly, to improve the safety, security, and standard of living in this working class neighborhood. We expect our politicians to spend our hard-earned tax dollars diligently, not to be wasteful. They must be used, or they must use our money to invest in family, education, industry, security, and infrastructure. The Harbour government has listened and acted upon your concern. In less than 18 months, income tax cuts have left more and more money in our pockets. Tax relief, such as $2,000 per child credit, a new working income tax benefit of up to $1,000 for families. In addition, the 1% GST cut, the famous 1% GST cut that we all have benefited from. We want an efficient public transportation system in place so that you can spend more time with your family and less time in transit. The Conservatives are acting to help fund new transit and roads so that we can spend less time in our cars and more time at home with our family, your kids, your parents, your grandparents, and your spouse, most important. Prime Minister Harper understands your concern. His government will spend close to $4.5 billion to build and improve the public transit in the GTA area. As a frontline health provider to the residents of our community, I know that having an efficient, caring, and responsive medical system is our community's #1 priority. As a physician who cares for seniors in 3 nursing homes, I understand. For 13 years, Stephen Dion's Liberal did nothing as patient wait time more than doubled. The Harbour's government walks the talk. For our access to health services is being through record investment. The government will spend $41.3 billion in new funding over the next 10 years. $612 million to assist provinces reduce patient wait time. $400 million for health information technology to improve health services. By tackling the challenge of patient waste time, Canada's new government is building a strong, safer, better Canada. Safe streets and safe community are a hallmark of life in Canada and are the foundation of happy family and a strong economy. However, Canadian street and community are increasingly threatened by gun, gang, and drugs. As this threat grows, so must the capacity of Canadian law enforcement to respond in order to protect Canadians. I know I have served 3 years as a commissioner on the Toronto Police Services Board. I support the hard-working men and women of the Toronto Police Service, while others choose to turn their back on this great men and women. I will work to ensure that the police and the laws of this great land protect us all. Stephen Harper has acted to ensure that criminals receive sentences that reflect the serious nature of their crimes. He has hired more police officers to patrol our street. The Harper government will spend $26 million to give victims a more effective voice in federal correction and justice system and greater access to services. It will spend $20 million for communities to prevent youth crime with focus on guns, gangs, and drugs. The government will also spend $161 million for 1,000 more RCMP officers and federal prosecutors to focus on such law enforcement priority as drug, corruption, and border security. It's my bother when I speak about those $1 million. I never come across that kind of money before. But Harper's government is invested in our future. People of Scarborough Agincourt care about our environment. We want a clean environment for our children and our grandchildren and ourselves. Stephen Harper understands your concern. He has taken steps to preserve and protect our environment for our children and grandchildren with several initiatives. The Eco-Auto Rebate Program, offering up to $2,000 for the purchase or long-term lease of a new fuel-efficient vehicle. A new green levy on gasoline vehicles, $6 million to support for vehicle scrappage programs, $30 million for incentives to remove older vehicles from Canadian roads. The government will invest $33 billion in infrastructure, extending the tax credit for public transit passes or innovative fare products. To ensure a healthier and cleaner environment, the government is also dedicating $2 billion over the next 7 years for the production of renewable fuel. Ladies and gentlemen, our taxes are down, our economic standing is improving, Canadians are taking home and keeping more money than they used to. And our healthcare system is improving. Our wait time is down. But this victory are not permanent. We all know that the Liberal Party is anxious to return to the trough and reverse our hard-fought gain, more taxes. I want to represent Scarborough Agincourt as this riding member of Parliament because, as I said, I care about this community. And I care about you. Our current representative has distinguished himself by his abysmal attendance record in the House of Commons. What's the number, Jim, that he went to Ottawa? For Jim Caraginalis? He didn't go to Ottawa, period. I think that's another level of government he is suitable for. That's called municipal government, that he could stay in this community without going to Ottawa and speak on behalf of Scarborough Agincourt. But I will give you that real representation. He simply has not spoken up for our community. He has taken us for granted. He has been missing in action. Scarborough Agincourt deserves a stronger voice in caucus, committees, and parliament. We deserve better representation. As part of the government of Canada, I will work for you in Ottawa to ensure accountability in our federal government to give families the tax relief they deserve, to improve the quality of life for all Canadians, and to enhance Canada's reputation in the world. I want this community and this country to be stronger, safer, and better. I want to make the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly gratified to see so many of you this evening. I think you all know my campaign manager, Mr. Jim Benford. I think I can give about 30 minutes of my speech saying about him. He's a good friend. I'm very honored to be blessed with his friendship and services. Without him, I don't think my campaign will go anywhere. But together with others on my campaign team, we are developing our winning team. We're going to win for the Conservative. We're going to win for the riding of Scarborough Agincourt. What you will get from me is the real representation. I will speak for Scarborough Agincourt. However, I cannot do alone. As my campaign manager said, I need a lot of volunteers. Volunteers who are prepared to knock on door with me. Volunteers who are prepared to call our supporters. Volunteers to put up sign for me. But most important, as Jim said, I need money to run this campaign. How much do we need, Jim? Jim, how much do we need? $1 million? 100,000. Talk about million and billion.
No, we don't want $1 million.
You don't want $1 million?
No, we don't want $1 million. Just, a few $100 here and there, help us along the way.
Right.
It takes about $70,000 to run a campaign.
That's all we need.
So I'm sure, I'm looking around here, Benson, I'm sure we can get it from this group right tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, I thank you for joining me on this important journey of my life. And together, we will make the difference. We're going to make this country to be a stronger, safer, and better. Thank you very much.信心點啊？信心好好嚇，有咁多人喺度嚇，有咁多街坊去支持，呢個俾我一個好大嘅信心嚇。因為頭先我哋總理講到啦，有民意調查咧，我哋已經步步追緊個對手。咁喺而家大選仲未開始，我已經有呢個咁嘅衝擊，有呢個 momentum， 呢個係對我係一個好好嘅先兆。我希望咧得到個個嘅支持，咁就會旗開得勝，真係為到我呢個Scarborough Agincourt選區。
其實你本身係醫生啦，咁如果一旦真係宣布難選嘅話，你投身入去做呢個競選工作，咁你即係你嘅事業咁點樣咧？
我諗只係服務呢個國家咧，係我最首要嘅理想。咁病人咧。而家嚟講咧，係我最重要兼顧嘅嘢。如果我當選咧，我係會安排。雖然我啲時間有可能變動，除非我入咗內閣咧，我係可以繼續為我啲病人服務。雖然有可能未必全部服務到，但我已經有好多同事，因為好多醫生嘅同事咧，應承咧我
睇住我啲病，因為呢個係我責任。好似我應承為 Scarborough Agent 出嚟選去做，希望做到佢哋嘅代表喺國會工作，都係有呢個責任，呢個誠信，呢個就係我對我嘅病人嘅承諾，我唔會話攞嚟拋棄佢，唔理佢哋。